Welcome to another episode of Programming Sucks. There have been several times throughout the past year or so where I've met people and they ask me, man, what do you do for work? And I'd be like, I'm a software engineer. And at times they'll joke about like, I don't know why people do this. If you say like you do something in like the IT field, they'd be like, oh, I got viruses and my laptop is broken. So can you fix my, like, bro, like, that's not my job, right? Like I'm not a technician or like a repair guy. I'm not actually good at building computers or repairing computers, right? Like I'm very uneducated about it. So if you listen to my story times, I used to build malware. When I was a teenager, if you remember, I was a maintainer and developer of a handful of malicious software that my quote friends at the time, I use quote like that, they would advertise and sell that stuff. And I would get a cut of it because I was developing it. I wasn't somebody who necessarily built destructive software, but I would make intrusive and remote access software that was designed to be undetected, stealthy. The term people use nowadays is rat. I've been completely disconnected and disassociated from this space for like over 15 years. I don't build malicious software, and I'm not saying that just for good boy points. I genuinely, and I just don't have a taste in doing stuff like that. But I'm still very aware and proficient when it comes to reverse engineering and vulnerabilities. So something I commonly see is people who say like, yo, man, common sense is the best antivirus. Rather, people won't use an antivirus because they feel they're too smart to be exploited. I understand your perspective. Don't go to sketchy links. Don't download unverified or shady sources, right? You keep things up to date, right? So I get it. Good judgment will block a majority of threats, right? But here's my issue with this. Saying common sense is the best antivirus is almost like saying, yo, go out in the rain, but don't get wet. I mean, but so how do you not get wet when you go out in the rain, right? You get an umbrella. But I know a lot of people don't go outside, so they may not understand the metaphor, but here's a good picture to explain where I'm about to go with this metaphorically. You do notice, as you can see, even when you go outside in the rain with an umbrella, the rain almost never falls vertically all the time. Sometimes it falls at an angle due to the wind, and you still get wet despite having an umbrella, right? The wind will mess you up. So symbolically speaking, the umbrella represents the antivirus or anti-malware software, and getting wet by the rain symbolizes those who have fallen victim to a threat. Being like, don't get wet, bro, is like completely ignoring how complex and technical in nature a threat can be. We often mock and ridicule major corporations for being hacked, right? Companies, whatever. We even joke about how, oh, the intern forgot to log out, or the intern clicked the wrong thing, the intern did something. Like, these jokes may be truthful and satirical, it may be, but if you do your research on why an individual or business got hacked, you'll realize that a lot of stuff happened due to zero-day exploits. A lot of these vulnerabilities weren't even known to most people, at least, or software distributors or a general IT team. Therefore, there's no defense to this exploit. The thing is, most modern attacks or hacking situations, it doesn't require somebody to forget to log out or click the wrong link, right? A lot of times these individuals are attacked based on vulnerabilities that nobody knows about yet, or only like a small group of people know about. That includes you. So even though, quote, common sense is a good starting point, because it isn't wrong, I wouldn't rely on it as your only defense. It's almost like locking your front door to your house, but leaving your windows wide open. Sometimes common sense is just not enough. You know what I'm saying? Besides zero-day exploits, I'm sure you've seen this one before when it comes to like data breaches or other things. A lot of hackers are using like legit websites nowadays. Like they'll compromise a legit website that a lot of people go to, even you, and then they'll use whatever they implemented on that legit website. They'll put like their malicious content on it, and then somehow people just get compromised. Like technology has advanced so much that people are acting like hackers haven't advanced as well. Act like they haven't moved with the times. Act like people still, I wouldn't say they're still wearing ski masks behind a computer, but you know what I'm saying? Like people act like it's that simple. And that's what blows my mind about the whole common sense is the best antivirus statement. You don't need an antivirus. All you need is your brain. Like, y'all acting like y'all are the smartest and the most tech savvy people on the planet just because you don't visually see or can interpret something that isn't right in front of your eyes or on your system. I gave an example about this a while ago. When I did an old series about malware on this channel, I remember mentioning why I don't pirate games or software, right? I'm not going to get into the political or ethical discussion about it because it's not necessarily relevant to this video. You may want to pirate something because you feel blah, 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 right? Let's not get into that. But one of the main reasons I don't torrent or pirate stuff is because a lot of software, a lot of malicious software nowadays, for years now, have been very light. For example, a lot of people, I know this is common, a lot of people pirate The Sims, right? Sims 4. You know why? Because EA is known to be very money hungry with their business model. And The Sims 4 has like 30 DLCs and it's all overpriced for content. And, you know, I personally don't find it worth purchasing that. Who got money like that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to spend like $500, $600 on Sims 4. Like, are you crazy? And others feel the same way as me. So what do? These people, they pirate Sims 4 and all the DLCs. Now, for those with basic computer knowledge, what happens when you run a game? You ever check Task Manager while a game is running? The game is using a lot of CPU and memory usage, right? Man, a lot of these Bitcoin miners or other malicious tools, they'll be packed with the game or software you download, and it will use less than 1% of CPU usage. But how can you know that? If your Sims 4 is running 55% of your CPU usage, like, you won't realistically be able to notice that 1% CPU usage that is used by a malicious software or malicious code inside of your game. Yeah, your pirated game or software runs perfectly fine. It is indeed the free version of the software or game that costs money that you pirated. But little do you know, even though it works, something else is running in the background as a payload. So from a surface level or visual level, you may think this pirated game or software or piracy provider is safe to use. Oh, this person uploaded this pirate. They're trustworthy. How do you know? Like, do you even know the back end here? Like, but the reality is they're doing shady stuff this whole time. Also, a lot of anti-malware software, antiviruses, whatever, won't completely scan software or games that contain files that are too big or have been encrypted in a sense. Like, sometimes the quality of these scans is not always the best due to it. You know what I'm saying? Because the type of operation, this type of operation that these antiviruses use to scan these big files, like, it could be very resource hungry when you're dealing with gigabytes of game files. People have become so comfortable with running software that you don't even know much about how it operates in the back end. A lot of software is proprietary. The source code isn't available, and you don't know exactly what it does besides what it tells you it does. Like, but can you trust what it tells you it does? Like, you don't know every single back end thing to it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you may think something is safe because a lot of people are using it and nobody is reporting or noticing something isn't right or questionable. So you may think it's safe because everyone else is doing it. But see, listen, everyone could get hacked and compromised too. The biggest problem is acting like you're omnipotent. Nobody is untouchable. A lot of these major companies have $1 million budgets for cybersecurity. And with that budget, they get the highest and the most experienced and advanced individuals with so many years in the industry, cybersecurity, yet they still get breached and compromised. So what makes you think your personal little setup you got over there is completely invincible? Like, seriously, sometimes it feels like ego is the real virus here. We can't always make it so black and white and be like, oh, yeah, your password was weak, or, oh, you clicked the wrong file. And then they blame people for not, quote, knowing better. You can't just blind yourself because you don't do things that you criticize other people for and pretend that bad actors don't slip in and become unnoticed. Like, again, with the omnipotence thing, the ego. Being compromised or hacked isn't always someone trying to brute force you, or, you know, you get that email where someone tried to log into one of your accounts or something like that, right? It's not always that, or someone tried to reset your password. It's not always that, or some extremely flashy malware out there. In my opinion, this is my opinion, my take, I think a lot of this stuff happens, a lot of people get hacked or compromised because of overconfidence and just being lazy at random moments. And we're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of being lazy on the internet sometimes with stuff. Like, sometimes you sign up to a website and you use that same goofy password you use on other websites that you don't care about, right? Or you use the same email address on extremely personal websites with the same website as random goofy stuff, same email address. And listen, it happens to the best of us. Now, you may be wondering, well, Aku, what anti-malware, antivirus software would you recommend I use then? See, here's the thing about that. It's a weird question for me too. I have a love-hate relationship with this. The thing about antiviruses is that a lot of these antiviruses, they can help, but they also fall short at times too. They fall short of the 0-day exploits. You know what I'm saying? Some of them get to it earlier than others, but you know what I'm saying? What I think is, I think you should have layered security, but user awareness too. Also, keep your computer clean. What do I mean by this? Yo, sometimes I see people post I'm sure you've seen this before. Yo, man, sorry if this offends whoever's listening or watching, because this might be you. Sometimes I see someone else's computer, your desktop has 1,000 icons, and like, wait, hey, why do you got like 1,000 programs installed when I check your computer? Why do you have all these things installed, bro? Why do you have this much? Yo, I know you never use them or open them. I know for a fact you don't open all those programs on your computer. Like, this is what I mean by keeping your computer clean. Install what you need and move on. If you stop using something, uninstall it. You don't know, because some of these things you install kernel drivers on your system that automatically start when your computer starts, and you don't notice that. Sometimes these same programs that you never, quote, run manually, they auto start as some sort of service on your computer. They don't show up in your task manager as like a regular process. Like I said, again, with the kernel driver, they'll run as a kernel driver. So like, you don't even notice it. You just got something run on your computer because you have something just installed that you never manually run. Keep yourself clean. Uninstall all this is the same thing with the phone. Even your cell phone. Uninstall all these apps you don't use. Keep yourself clean. Hopefully you wash your ass every day or so, right? Keep the hygiene of your technology clean too. People say they have common sense, but then they do the complete opposite of that. Most people are on Windows, right? Windows Defender, surprisingly, has been very good for the past few years. I would say that with Smart Screen and a firewall, it's enough. Like, I've used Malwarebytes. I still use it on my virtual machine. I'm a Linux user, by the way. I only run Windows on virtual machines. I don't have Windows installed on my computers. I don't dual boot or anything like that. I only use Malwarebytes for scanning, right? And I don't use it for real-time protection. But like, even if I download something malicious, we have tools online that are mostly free nowadays that allow you to scan software and websites. You don't need to install a virtual machine anymore. Like, we have free services like virustotal.com, hybrid analysis, any.run. Literally, these are free online services to scan and analyze a website or program. Even though I said I use Malwarebytes to scan, funny, I don't remember the last time I scanned something because I've been using online analysis tools. But always remember, despite us having antiviruses and online services, these tools don't guarantee safety. Sometimes some things can stay undetected and unnoticed. This is where the common sense comes in. So yes, common sense is the best antivirus, but the way people say it to others when people act like, people ask like, what antivirus should I use? They're like, don't use one. Use common sense, like use your brain. Like, I don't agree with that, but I get where you're going with this. I would still put myself under multiple layers of defense just in case. You get what I mean? Don't just not have anything and believe your own intuition will be smart enough. Like, use what's available. Better be safe than sorry. Anyway, this concludes this episode of Programming Socks. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. Times Square.
Nightmare 7 a.m. in the morning though. No surprise. Times Square's you and I under those lights. No disguise. Don't tell me everything you wanted was a lie. All those city lights, it's an endless night. Never expected you to bring me so much life. Close my eyes too long, then it's time to say goodbye. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Let's dance all night until the stars don't show glow. Till the sunrise, then we go solo. Making up for all the times that we were low. Let's make some memories before we do go. Caution. Wait a moment, keep my heart locked away, it's filled with emotion. Gave the key to you, right in front of you is open. Hey, try your best to not leave it broken. Oh, it's been a while since you know it's frozen. Not the